trying to connect. Disagree without being disagreeable. Welcome to day 103 of our Supersize You annual challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And today we're talking about the power of disagreements, and that disagreeing can be healthy and it can help us grow, and it can help everything that we're doing and being a part of grow. But we have to do it in a way that doesn't cause harm to the relationship, right? So often, and we know the difference between somebody that's disagreeing with us because they have a different way of viewing the situation, or they have a different point of view, or they have different experience, and somebody that's just being disagreeable for the sake of being disagreeable, right? There are people like that out there in this world. We've all run across them at least at some point in our life, either in school. I gotta tell you, some of our teachers were just plain disagreeable. No matter what you would say, if it wasn't the exact parroted answer that they want, they were going to argue with you and stomp you down and make you wrong. Not a really good teaching strategy. Doesn't work in our families. It doesn't work in our schools. It doesn't work in our businesses. And it certainly doesn't work in our life. So can you go about disagreeing, having a different point of view, and sharing it in a way that respects the other person? Well, we can use disagreeing language, or language of disagreement that is positive and powerful. Things like, let me take a peek here in what my notes say. I see it differently. Can I offer another perspective? Hey, I hear what you're saying. I see it a little bit differently. Do you mind if I share my perspective? And if they say no, then just walk away. You don't have to change anyone's mind on the planet. The only person's mind we have to control and manage and lead with is our own. Everybody else, they're on their own too. And some people will figure it out. Some people won't. And it doesn't really matter or impact us. Help me understand your thinking on this. Asking questions is a really powerful way to understand better, and make sure you clearly understand what the disagreement is about before you engage, right? That's been one of my biggest life lessons learned. Sometimes I would think that the ex-husband was pointing out something that I'd already done, and it turns out, and was upset about, it turns out he was talking about a totally different thing, because we make assumptions, especially in our very close personal relationships. So how do we address this today, besides using language that is open and shows that we're open to having a discussion about something instead of having a knockdown, drag out fight? I'm not a great fighter. I mean, I don't choose to participate in fighting or in angry things and in conflict. There's no point. It's like all the social media nonsense. And I will admit, once in a while I will comment on things because they're so outrageous to me. But for the most part, I just stay out of it, because I don't actually have personal information, one-on-one eyewitness accounts of any of the stuff that comes up on social media, except the things that I post, of course. But so who am I to judge? A big thing that came out of my sudden cardiac arrest was the belief that, who am I to judge? It's not my role. It's not my position to cast judgment on anyone else. Do I still do it? Of course we all do. Do I get angry with my sisters? Of course I still do. Do I get frustrated with my amazing little granddaughters? Yes, because I want them to do what I want them to do when I want them to do it. Talk about setting yourself up for frustration. So today we're going to ask ourselves a couple of questions about disagreements and being disagreeable. Do you think that disagreeing is disrespectful? There's a lot of people that believe that is true. They think it's their way or the highway, and whenever you disagree with them, I have one of them in my family, a very close family. If you give them any feedback, disagree with anything they say, then you're the bad guy and you will get viciously attacked. Who needs that in any given day? I sure don't. The older I get, the less I want to participate in that. So guess what happens? I shut down around that person and just let them say whatever they're going to say. And I don't agree or disagree. I just let them go. And then they can think that they're right, and I can let them think they're right, and I can go about my merry way unscathed by the disagreements or by the friction that the chaos that this person tries to create in our lives. Do you avoid conflict entirely because you are afraid it's going to turn into a disagreement? You turn away from disagreements. You avoid disagreements because you just don't want to deal with it. You just don't want to hassle with it. When has somebody disagreed with you respectfully? And how did that make you feel differently than when somebody's just disagreeable and just fights with you for the point of fighting with you? And then finally, how would your relationships, I asked myself, how would my relationships benefit from healthier disagreement and conflict handling. And guess what? We're going to talk about conflict handling tomorrow, because I think that this is definitely worth a 2-day topic, kind of, handling difficult situations. Now, I also want to cover the 7 why exercise today, because we haven't covered it yet this month. And I like to talk about it usually on the 7th of the month, but this year we were busy doing something else. 7 why exercise is an incredibly powerful tool to figure out how to motivate ourselves to do something. So say you want to have a disagreement with somebody in a positive way. Well, why would you want to do that? That could be your first question. And then you ask yourself a series of 7 whys to get at the root cause or the heart of the matter. I like this because I'm an ex-quality corporate person, and understanding the root cause of something is very, very powerful and critical to me, because we spent lots of years solving the wrong problems because we didn't identify the root cause of the problem first. A lot of times, if you identify the root cause and you solve that, it's like a big domino, and it knocks down all the other problems that are associated with that one thing. And that's why I think it's critical that we understand what motivates and drives us to do certain things or to not do certain things. When it comes to personal development, that is an intrinsic motivation. That is something that comes from within us. The vast majority of people on the planet, believe it or not, don't do any personal development. They just go through their lives being how they are, and they're perfectly happy with that. But then there's a whole segment of the population that knows that we're here for something more, that we want to continually improve and become a better version of ourselves, and we want to have a positive impact on the world, and we want to do that intentionally. So one of the exercises and tools we do for that is, why do I want to do this? You can ask yourself why, a series of 7 whys for anything you want to do to get clearly motivated and get some power over yourself to stick to the thing that you say that you want, or to overcome the problem or challenge that you're having. So if you're in a disagreement with someone, why do you want to solve that? Why do you want to fix that? And if you don't, then just be honest and move on, because people come in and out of our lives for a reason and for a season. And maybe they just came into your life to show you that you don't want to deal with disagreeable people, and you don't have to. So today, our challenge is to share how you handle a disagreement today. I guarantee almost every day we can find a disagreement if we're looking for one. We can also find agreement if we're looking for one, but we can find the opposite. So as you go about your day, notice a disagreement brewing, and then choose how you're going to handle it. Are you going to use agreeable language? Are you going to be open to hear the other point of view before you have to respond? I would just say stay away from religion and politics, and you'll probably be okay. That can eliminate 99% of the conflicts and the disagreements we have as humans. I guess money could be in there too. So maybe there's so many topics that people choose to disagree on. All right, that is our topic for today. 7 whys is our tool for today. Share in the comments below how your disagreement goes, and if you learned something from it. Even if you revert to your old ways of disagreeing and being disagreeable, and you can be honest with yourself and see that that's how you automatically respond to disagreements or anybody not agreeing with you, that is fantastic. That is a win for you, because you're becoming more self-aware. All right, that's all I've got today. If I can help in any way, ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I will, of course, see you tomorrow. Bye.